Before that, music and motoring may be two very different industries, but an Oxfordshire company is working with a hit music producer to help design engine sounds for electric cars. Steve Levine's the man behind artists like Culture Club and Louise. We've got the car he's been working with here at BBC Oxford, and our reporter Emma Vardy's been giving it a go.
This car is a little bit out of the ordinary because not only does it run partly on electric power, but take a look inside and there's a whole selection of engine noises to choose from. So if you want to sound like a sports car or even a spaceship, it can all be done at the touch of a button. And while you're driving, the sounds are emitted through speakers under the bonnet. Now, the car industry is teaming up with the music industry to help create new car noises that one day we'll hear on the road. They say this is the future and that one day many of us will be driving around in cars not running on petrol but using battery power instead. But it means they're that much quieter and much more difficult to hear coming. For safety, and so drivers themselves can actually hear their car's engine, manufacturers are artificially creating the sounds that electric vehicles will make. And that's where the music industry comes in.
The aim of this project is to use my experience as a record producer and put that information, that knowledge, into the car environment. We're creating the sounds of the engine in a car that doesn't have an engine noise.
It may seem quite a leap for someone more used to creating top 10 hits, but in fact it's closely linked, says Steve.
Frequencies of the accelerator or de-accelerating, the way that those are created requires the same amount of attention to detail that you would use when making a record.
In future, when you put your foot down, you could hear something like this. Or even... Working alongside Steve, the Wallingford-based research team, MMR, have been asking consumers how they'd like their cars to sound.
Effectively, people are starting with a blank sheet of paper. They're going to be able to design these sounds, make them appropriate for what consumers want. So with sports vehicles, people really wanted the sound of the car to reflect the acceleration of the car, the power of the car.
It said one day you'll be able to download new sounds for your car, just like ringtones for your phone. And for Steve, the satisfaction of this isn't so different from producing a chart hit.
When I work on a record, there's still nothing that beats the thrill of that first play on the radio. And the same will apply to this. The moment I can go to, say, a car show and someone starts up an engine in an electric car and I can hear something that we've created here, that's going to be fantastic.
If electric cars become as popular as some are predicting, traffic noise will never be quite the same again. Well, this project is still at the early stages, but the research that's being done here in Oxfordshire and the sounds you saw Steve creating could one day provide a blueprint for the way the car industry develops in future. Now, these aren't available commercially just yet, but something similar will be on the market from next year. So if you're walking down a dark street, you hear something that sounds like the Starship Enterprise behind you, it could just be one of these.